So welcome to my first video. It's going to be a VFX tutorial. I think of this as part one of the VFX fundamentals series. So first thing we're going to learn is basically what the properties do. So you can see I have my part right here. So first thing you're going to do, so get a particle emitter. And you can see that when I have a particle emitter, the particles emit from everywhere around this part. But if I put if I put it in an attachment, it's gonna emit solely from the attachment. You can see it's going up, solely from the attachment. Now we can just go ahead and delete that. Now look at the first property, color, pretty self-explanatory. It also has its own gradient. Like I can do this, just close that out, and if I look up, it's gonna become white as it dies out. Alright, now we're just gonna reset that color back. Okay, light emission determines how much particles colors are blended with the colors behind them. So basically, you can mess around with it to see what it actually does. But if I have it as 10, this will be brighter because it's influenced by the colors behind it, and very highly influenced, I guess. If I have it negative, you can see how the texture becomes the particles become outlined in black like that. So it's mostly want to leave this 0. Now light influence, how much the particles are influenced by environmental light. So this makes them bright as well too. And if you didn't notice, negative makes it black, and it also, when this is 0 or negative, it unlocks this brightness, makes it brighter. Pretty self-explanatory. Don't really ever want to go there. Let's just make that 5. Orientation, facing camera. You can see how it's facing the camera. If the camera rolled up, you can see how it's facing the camera, but looks different from the top. Now velocity, parallel. Looks pretty weird, but you can see how it's very thin. You can mess around with it to see when you'd use it. I have some good examples that I can show later. Velocity perpendicular flattens out the VFX basically, so you can see how it's flattened like that. Size is self-explanatory as well. If I set that to 10, it'll be really big. Oh, I made that 110 actually, but yeah, that's 10. It'll be really big. Let's go 5. My bad. Okay, you can see how it's not that big. So if I make this 2, it's gonna be small again. Now onto size. A bunch of properties have this thing where it's a graph, right? So this is the start of the lifetime. You can see how it's getting smaller because this end is small. If I made that end big, look at the top, you see it's getting bigger, it's getting smaller. So you can have a fading texture, a fading effect. And squash has this too. If I make that 0.2, you see it gets weirder. Let me tell you guys something. So let's say I have a line here. Now if you don't even know what this graph does, don't worry, I'll go over it intensively in my next video. But basically, so this pink area is at this point it could be a random value from this top to the bottom, and yeah, it's pretty much it. So now texture is the texture. This little sparkle you see is a texture in and of itself. Transparency has its own graph too. You can see we can do weird stuff with it, and it'll be fading out really at the top. Now Z offset is how close it appears. So if I have one particle that's Z offset of 10 and another one with Z offset of -5, the one with the -5 will be in the back. So it's easier to position stuff. Right now, emission direction is self-explanatory. If it's left, front, bottom, and of course we're on top right now. What I just did right there was enabled it, which is also a very important part of this. And now the lifetime, how long it lasts. 5, 10, it can be anything from 5 to 10, so you see what's going all the way up. If I make this say 0.11, it stops like very short, and you can get this like this kind of effect really. Rate is how much is emitted a second. If that's 100, a bunch of them are just spawning a second. Rotation is self-explanatory. These commas are for minimum and maximum values. Same with rotation. Speed, it is rotating. Now speed has a minimum and maximum as well. For me, that 525. Some particles are literally going up. You can see you have a cool little effect. You can make them stationary. You can literally just do 1.5. It'll be like a flame going up. Now spread angle, spreading it in degrees. If that's 360, it's literally going all the way up. 11,180. It's like just like, you know, not going this way, but it's, I don't know how to explain that. Alright, anyway, Flipbook we'll go over later, but it's basically to animate animate textures that are like drawn with many like they're drawn animated. This one isn't a flipbook because it's just a straight texture. Acceleration is accelerating stuff on the axis. I'll show the x-axis as an example. It's going this way because you know this is the front, so it's going this way. And drag is like exponential decay over its lifetime with speed. So if I make that drag 10, see it doesn't go all the way out. And then if I raise the speed to like say 100, it goes out and then just stops. So you can just, these particles, you barely need to change them, but like locked apart just means like this is it by itself. Like you can see how it trails behind. Locked apart, as you probably guessed, literally locks it to apart. Okay, so yeah, you can just experiment with the rest of these to find out what they really do. But I'll probably drop a new video soon. Anyway, I'll leave plugins on the screen that you're going to need for the next video. And well, I mean, I'll see you guys later.